Welcome back to our farm in Baldeykino. If you guys want to know what's going on here, there's a link to the playlist down below in the description, as well as, I'll try to have one in the comments. So last episode 1 of Siberian Farming, we started putting in this field here and did a little job or two for the local collective farm. And I mowed the grass to get ready to put in this road. All right, so since last episode, I've gone through here and I put in a little road for us. It looks a little muddy. I want to get some gravel on it. I put in a road here, and as you can see, there's been some construction done on some buildings back here that kind of make our house look small, but that's only because our house was small. Now, of course, I simply had to get some buildings up in here. You know, last episode we started with nothing but just our small little quaint house we have here. So anyway, you can see I've gone through here. We got a road in here. And yeah, I did put some buildings in here. I mean, come on, we needed buildings, right? So we had a little base to start with, and now we've got this. This is enough to work with for a while, enough to park our equipment that we'll be getting and put our grass and stuff like that in. And we'll have more of this kind of stuff popping up throughout the series. You know, we got to have some kind of growth somewhere. So I went through and put in all this. All right, so for now, that's kind of caught up for there. You know, this is just the beginning of the series, so getting some things done here, and I thought this right here was nice to start off with. For now, let's get back to our plowing. It's 5 o'clock, but I can get a little bit more plowing done here because next month we're going to be planting wheat here. We'll be planting wheat here, and I'm not sure. We'll have to see what else. Did I leave the plow down here? Yeah, I did. Plow's down here. Need to finish creating our field. We got a pretty good outline going. And so those of you who, maybe if you missed the first episode, so yeah, this is the tractor that we're starting off with. My uncle gave us this land, and with the land, he left this tractor, old Belarus tractor, and we got a plow, and it's pretty much all we have to start off with. But the farm collective down in Baldeykino, that's the town over about that direction, is letting us use some equipment here and there when we need it. But I'd like to try to do this all with our own equipment and the money that we make here. That said, there's some paying jobs we found here and there. We might be able to do some other jobs. For instance, my uncle owns that field right there, that green field over across the street. That's all sugar beets, and we're going to have some work later in a couple of months helping him harvest there maybe, and that'll make us some money, which will be really useful for our, well, this will be a wheat field, of course. And then I have plans. You can see right there, I got a gravel bucket over there. I'm using that to pick up gravel, or rather all the field stones off of this. And I'll be using those to kind of pave our newly made mud road with gravel. It's not that muddy, but it could get muddy. But for now, just kind of doing this a couple meters at a time, getting through here and getting a field made. So yeah, you know, as I was saying, this is like, this tractor is kind of our only equipment right now. Just this tractor, this plow, and, well, we got the mower. And that's really kind of about it. I do want to buy a seeder. I was looking at the store, and we can get a seeder to plant the wheat, but it's just a little bit out of our price range right now. So you also may have seen last episode, I found a couple of collectibles. That might be the ticket to getting a seeder. I don't want to have to ask to borrow one. I don't want to try to rent one. I'd like to have our own seeder. Well, I think my tires are spinning a bit. Yeah, this tractor's got 80 horsepower, but that's apparently just barely enough to pull this plow. I'd like to have our own seeder for the farm, of course, because we're going to use it a lot. This is the first of probably several fields that we can make on this plot of land here. And if we do well here on this plot of land, we might get more land allotted to us, more land that we can control. So having a seeder, yeah. I might just see here this episode. I'm going to drive around and see if I can find a couple more of these little collectibles. And because this is an honest to gosh, you know, first playthrough of this, I might want to go see if I can find a couple more of those, because there's a seeder for about right about $10,000. If we can get just a couple thousand more dollars, that can be ours. It's really old. It's used domestic equipment, but it'll work just fine for our small little field here. I'm not sure. If I had to hazard a guess, how big is this field? Maybe almost a hectare? Maybe. Something like that. Hard to say exactly. So I'm going to take some more off of this. But working for the bigger farm will be cool because it'll give me a chance to try out some of the bigger equipment, see what's available around here in this part of the country, see what might like to use. So we can, and plus, they may or may not have some used equipment that we could use going up for sale here and there. So it's always useful to check the page and see what the farm collective might, you know, equipment they might be looking to get rid of that we might be able to use for our farm that we can afford. Working up, you know, on this undeveloped land and creating a farm on it. I don't know. I think this is proven to be, this is going to be a fun experience. You know, coming from, well, way down, kind of southeast down there, from the other town down there. I like it out here in the country. Yeah, at times this tractor has a little bit of problem pulling this plow. What I need to do is I need to get it going and just kind of keep it going. So a few more passes and all of this will be done. Well, this part anyway. I want to come over, yeah, with the bucket, see how much, you know, we can get as far as rocks go. Our little road turned out to be pretty good, and it's quite, yeah, especially when you look at it from the dirt road, the road down there. Our little road I made here is quite picturesque, the way it just kind of snakes right up to our house. Having those buildings built, that's going to be a big help. Oh yeah, that's one thing I'm going to want to do before I end the day today. I'm going to want to get our grass. Before I made the road, we mowed a path down there, and I dug it out down into the dirt. There's a bunch of grass. I want to get it stored. There's under that, in that hay shed over there that I put up. So I'm going to do one more pass of this, and then grab that straw and get it loaded into, yeah, underneath that awning over there, that roof. Because yeah, it's just kind of piled in our backyard right now. Well, there was no buildings. Now there are, so just get one more pass of this here. To think this started off with nothing but just a crude, kind of pretty rough outline, and now we got something resembling a field now. Go ahead and just drop this here. I'll get it turned around first, and I'll drop it here, and then go grab the hay fork and shovel all that stuff over there. And well, yeah, then it'll be next month. And wait, yeah, let's drop. I'm just gonna drop off the plow. You know what? Why am I doing it? I don't have to drop off the plow. I gotta drop off the bucket. I'll swap buckets up here at the house. Get a chance to use our new road here. It's pretty decent. Yeah, I know I got my lights on. It's not that dark. It's not dark outside at all, but just kind of dim enough that the lights was helping me work in the dirt. Oh, so now that we got a building, we can drop off our bucket in here somewhere. Just put it in here. And that is a lot of grass. Well, it looks like a lot of grass. We'll see. It can't be that much. That's just the grass that I mowed to make our little road there, our driveway. I'll just refer to it as the driveway. That way when I say road, you'll know I mean the road. Our driveway. There we go. Alright, now let's see how quickly I can move this. Yeah, put a decent dent in it. I don't think this will take too long. Should I put it under there? Yeah, let's just put it under this for now. And we can look at getting this baled. Particularly, yeah, I'm really going to be looking at, see if I can find discount used equipment from the Farming Collective. And a baler is going to be one thing I'll be looking at. We're going to be working with animals, I'm sure. Whether or not we have animals on our farm right here, I don't know. We'll have to see. But there is on the other side of those trees right there, there's a little pigsty over there. that we do have permission to use. There's no pigs yet, but once we get some crops going and things like that, we'll at least for sure have pigs. And so, you know, with any kind of animals, what I'm getting at is any kind of animals, bales are always a good idea. Well, although I'm not sure of the requirements of pigs on this map here. I'll find out once I get some. But first, I mean, we're still in the first month here. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this grass moved over. And then I guess it'll be next month. It does look a lot nicer here with these buildings. It makes the house, they do make the house look a little small, but yeah, again, that's because the house is small. But looking at this, I'm thinking, yeah, you know, starting to look kind of like a farm now. And I do want to add more buildings, of course, and things along the way. As our farm develops, you know, we'll be having our own. And, oh yeah, one note I want to make on that. I spent, and this is for this video series as a whole, I spent, honestly, several days trying to find, I wanted to find mods and everything that were authentic. That goes right to the buildings and everything, the buildings and, of course, the tractors and equipment. I spent literally days and days finding the right equipment and the right buildings to use here. So yeah, these buildings, these looked really nice. When I saw these, I was like, yes, I need that. Anyway, just as a side note, yeah, a lot of this stuff, I worked really hard to find it all for this map, so I hope you like it. It should all go along with the atmosphere here really well. I wanted to make sure of that. Yeah, the buildings, I was just thinking about that because, yeah, so one thing I was thinking about is maybe add some trees over here. With the buildings, it's going to look really nice. It'll be looking more and more like a farm. And I was thinking, you know, this whole open meadow here is very cool, but wouldn't it be cooler if there were some trees around the house and stuff? Come on, get that grass up. There's grass in that grass somewhere. Alright, so I'll just keep getting the rest of this and get this put over in our shed over there. Trying to get this last bucket load of grass here. I was just thinking, remember last episode we rented that forage wagon to pick up the grass. Yeah, maybe I should have kept the rental a little bit longer until we had the buildings, and then I could have just dumped it in there. But that's okay because it's just about done now. Alright, and there's the last of that. Well, let's get this parked. Oh yeah, that's right, we got a place to park it now. We can get this parked in one of our sheds over here. So I'll tuck it in here. And I'm going to finish plowing here in a minute. We'll finish plowing. And I want to see about planting. First, I'm going to go inside the house and rest. All right, happy September to you from Siberia. We, well, you know what we're doing. First thing, we need to finish plowing. First, I'd like to go see about getting a seeder. Now, oh, that's right. There's one that we can borrow at the Farm Collective. Although, I'd rather buy our own. Let's just leave the plow here for the moment. But let's go down there. Let's use it once. Let's just borrow it and use it a little bit. And then I mentioned maybe you can find collectibles and get a couple $1,000 so we can buy our own. Well, let's use theirs and let's see how it works to see if we want to use it. Because I want to get seeds down. Using equipment here and there that my uncle owns is not necessarily a bad thing. I always want to have my own, of course. All right, I think we want to go this way. I think we can go down this road here on the other side of his field, and that should take us down there. I wonder who owns this field. Does he own this field too? I'm not sure. No, it's Vladimir's. I don't know who he is. Alright, come on little tractor. And let's take... Which road do I take? Let's take this road. I know it's that direction somewhere, and it's beautiful scenery all along the way on this fall morning. Oh, there's all kinds of roads everywhere. Well, I'm just going to follow this one down, because we're going in the right direction regardless. Yeah, that's the sugar beet field. That'll be next month, I think. It should be ready to harvest next month. And, well, I look forward to that because I'll learn something new. I haven't harvested sugar beets before, and we'll get paid for the job, so they'll give us money to use on our own farm. Should think of a name for our farm. Yeah, it's actually not a bad idea. I mean, he gave us the land, and it's part of his farm, but the land's ours to do with as we please and make it profitable. So we should come up with a name for it. That water tower, I think, is the water tower that's by the farming collective. I think that's where we're going. Oh, there's a road here as it happens. So, oh, I imagine this gets pretty muddy from time to time. Let's try their cedar out for a minute, and if we want, we can buy it. In fact, maybe we could just make him an offer on it. I mean, that is something I hadn't thought of. I would feel better about that. There's some little backyard fields there. I'd feel better about that than borrowing it. Oh, you know what? We might not have to. One more of those and we can buy it ourselves. Well, regardless, I'll make an offer on it. Alright, so I just had a little chat with them, and well, you can see that money's down a little bit. Yeah, so I went ahead and offered them and they let me buy the cedar here, so this way we can use it without borrowing it. This is ours to use now. I believe it's parked back here, and I gave them $7,000, but it's used. I could buy this new for like 9 or 10, I think. I offered him $7,000 for this, so we got our own cedar now is the end of the story there. We got us a new cedar. Now, how is this? Oh, I see. Okay. So that, yeah, this will be great. We can plant our wheat with this. We're pretty much broke again now, but that's okay. We'll find more money. And now we got at least we got some equipment of our own. It's kind of the whole thing. Still getting stuff figured out here, how I want to do this. And I decided it's best if we own our own equipment. Let's see if we can get this hooked up here. There we go. All right, perfect. All right, let's haul this back to our farm. So this is the farming collective I speak of sometimes, and we'll be coming here from time to time. Well, for one, we can fuel up here. We can get fuel here, and from time to time, this is all my uncle's equipment. We'll be doing jobs for him, and we can get equipment down here. It looks like they're working on that one over there, and we can get equipment from time to time here for his jobs. But I don't want to borrow them for our jobs, is what I'm saying. You know. Oh, look, there's another one just like this, another Belarus tractor. That's a spiffy one. All right. Yeah, this one's ours. I like this. This is our tractor, and I like that. Yeah. Let's get this back to the farm, and we can get started. Well, not just yet. I want to finish plowing first. That's right. First, I want to finish plowing. There's those seeds and fertilizer I brought last time. Still hasn't done anything with those. Well, he paid us to bring those down here last time, so that's cool. All right, let's see if we can figure out that back way that I took to get here. Let's use that water tower as a marker. And I think we went past that. I think it was this way. I'm trying to work my way backwards up the way we came. And I think it was... Yeah, these are the fields I came past. Yeah. There's a lot of dirt roads here out in the this rural area north of Baldeykino. There's a lot of dirt roads that kind of branch off in a lot of ways. And I want to make sure I can backtrack the right direction. Oh, through the mud. Yeah, that could get really muddy this winter. I have to pay attention to that. And, yeah, watch which tractor I bring out here. Well, we only have the one tractor for now, but in the future, might want to think about a four-wheel drive tractor. I understand it can get pretty muddy out here. All right, so it's pretty much a straight shot back up to the farm. I'll meet you guys up there, and we can finish plowing and plant some wheat. You know, I came all the way back down to the field, and I just remembered, I think I left the plow up here, didn't I? You know, I forget where I left the plow. Yeah, I think I see it in our shed over there. I just parked the cedar in the shed. I literally parked it right next to it. I got back to the farm. I parked our new cedar, and then I went back down to the field. Yeah, there's our plow. Oh, you know why I went back down there? Because I was going to leave it down there, and then I said, oh, we don't need to leave it there. That's right. See, I do one thing, I change my mind, and then I forget which thing I did later. All right. Let's get this down to the field and get the rest of our field plowed so we can plant wheat. And that seeder that we got, it fertilizes as well. Also, if you noticed, it was already filled with seeds and fertilizer when I picked it up. Apparently, they did us one good by buying that seeder. Yesterday, we delivered the seeds and fertilizer there on that truck. I guess they gave us some of what we delivered, put it in our seeder for us. That was awfully nice. So let's get the rest of this plow. This won't take long at all. This will be pretty quick. Just get the rest of this. To think that we plowed all of this with just this little plow. This tractor has been pretty good so far. It's going to see a lot of use in the future, that's for sure. It was really awesome to get this little tractor. And it'll be great for tending to the pigs, which I intend to get pigs. Oh, absolutely. It's just a matter of when and things like that. For now, until we can harvest and until we can really get things going, we're going to be mostly relying on small jobs for other farms around here for money. And that's not a bad idea, actually. I mean, jobs for my uncle, yeah. But then there's other farms around here that have contracts. We can have a look at that, get an idea what kind of contracts we might be able to pick up around here. So we've got baling. Oh, and of course we can use their equipment. What kind of pay are we looking at here? Cultivating, fertilizing. So like this one right here. Does Uncle Peter have any jobs? That's actually a good question. Right there. Harvesting. So he does have other fields. I thought so. He's got a canola field, field 16. And, wow. Okay, it must be, that is that field. Remember we were driving, that must be, no, that wasn't ready to harvest yet. Because it's a tiny field is what I'm saying. It's only $162. It must be one of those tiny fields like I showed you on the way over to the collective. Well, here's one, field 7. Vladimir. Oh, that's that field. I bet that's the field we passed on the way to the farm place. That pays pretty decent. Wheat field. We might want to take that. That'd be a great jump. I'll have a look at that later. That could be a great jump start to our money, like a huge jump start. That could get us a piece of equipment or something like that. Yeah. It said that was Vladimir's field. It said it was, crap, I forget what it said. No, it said wheat. I didn't see what the crop type was, but I think that was that field that we passed on the way there. Well, we'll see about that. For now, we just got a couple more passes to do with the plow in our field, our little wheat field. Oh yeah, and then after, that's right, before we plant, I want to get these rocks up. And like I mentioned a couple times, yeah, I want to get the rocks up and see if we can use those to get some gravel down on our soon-to-be muddy road. I just say that because you drive, yeah, you make a dirt road in the country and you drive on it enough, and especially in this climate, and it's going to turn into mud eventually, probably. Haven't looked at the weather though. I don't know if it's supposed to rain or... I do know that it can snow pretty late. Last year, I think it was still snowing in May, so... Now, as to having a farm out here, how's it going to affect our farm? I won't know until we get there. Alright, looks like one more pass with the plow here. Yep. One little strip, and we got us a field. And I'll have a lot of... Yeah. Well, I think our rock shovel, our gravel shovel, I think is about as wide as this plow, so... Oh, and then there's that. I don't have an attachment on the front of this tractor. Here, I'm going to leave this by the road here. So that means I kind of got to use the gravel shovel and back. Wait, before I set that down, did I want to make sure that I... Yeah, I did. Before I set that down, I want to make sure that I turned off the... Oh! And, yeah... You know what's funny is I had, and well, let's just fix that right now. Let's just fix that right now. I'm going to leave this in because this one cool thing about this map, it has a lot of cool custom painting that you can do. There's lots of custom textures in this map. One thing really cool about Baldeykino, let's just fix this real quick, and we can plant the meadow grass. Yeah. Whoopsie. Well, I just said, oh, first I gotta, let's paint grass over it first. Well, what happened is I said, let's make sure, you know, blah, 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 right? Well, I did, but when I dropped it off the back of the tractor, I hit the button to drop it off, but I was still holding the shoulder button on the controller, and that turned allow create fields back on. That's what happened. Oh, great. Now I got to touch this up. You know how hard I worked on this bloody road? What kind of dirt did I use? That's a good question. This right here. I worked so hard on this. There we go. Almost like it never happened. But yeah, this map has a lot of cool custom stuff, so we can repaint this grass in here, and there. All right. And so, all right. I accidentally hit the button. All right, so let's get our thing here. Now I'm gonna have to work this from the back of the tractor. This might be a little bit tedious, so I'll make this as easy for you guys as possible. But yeah, I'm gonna get the rocks up off this field so that we can start planting our wheat. Yeah, this could be kind of tedious doing this in reverse the whole way, but yeah, I don't think there's an option for this tractor to have a front hydraulics. I'm not sure I've ever seen this model of tractor with front hydraulics before. My neighbor actually has this exact same tractor. It's kind of what inspired me to get this one. And so I designed it to look just like his. So it may look a little funny doing this in reverse, but it gets the job done. It just impresses the importance even more of getting more of our own equipment. I have a tractor in mind that has a front attachment on it that might be good for our farm. But it's obviously a new tractor is way out of our price range for a minute. Well, there's one lap around the field. It actually goes fairly quickly. It's not too hard at all. I want to have a look at that harvest contract, I think. Thinking about it, we can rent the equipment for it and make, I don't know, what was it, like $16,000 or something like that. You know, we're driving right by the road. Watch anyone driving by, they're going to be like, what is that farmer doing? Or if my uncle drives by, I gave that boy this land and there he is fooling around in the field driving his tractor backwards. Yeah, well, making the situation the best out of the equipment that we have. And it's making the, it gives us a nice looking field, nice cultivated field is the other good part of it. Nice soil to plant in. Oh, you know what I thought of? I hadn't thought about this until just now. Before we plant here, we're going to want to, get the soil pH right. We're going to want to put lime down since we just created this field out of literally nothing but grass. Well, I mean, the grass below, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what we can do about a lime spreader. Wonder how cheap we can find one. Well, let's see. Let's have a look at the store and see how cheap can we find a lime spreader. $7,000. I mean, just looking, what can we afford? Well, the cheapest there is $7,000. Well, maybe, hey, how about this? We'll take that harvesting contract and then we can afford it. And we can use it for fertilizer too. So it'd be a good purchase all in all. That's true. So I'm going to get a little bit more of this done and then check on that. Yeah, it's going, but it's taking some time. I think I'm going to park our tractor here and have a look. Let's see the details of that harvest contract. Field 7. Ooh, that's a big field, though. That's a big field. That's a really big field. I guess I should have figured. Yeah, that is the one I drove by. Well, it's big, but it's not as big as it could be. Well, it's right next door. The way I see it, it's just downright neighborly. Yeah. I mean, he's our neighbor, or his field is anyway. It's just downright neighborly. So it's still early August. We got time to, or sorry, September. We still got time to get this done. And he's giving us this equipment for $1,800. So we'll get to use some big flashy equipment. That'll be nice. So let's go ahead and, yeah, let's do it. We can use the money. All right, down here at the store. Wow. You know, after driving that little Belarus tractor, this feels huge. It is insane how big this is. But we're going to need it. We're simply going to need it to harvest that field. We're going to need to rent the equipment, obviously. I mean, we don't even have a harvester, let alone a big one like this. Get the trailer out here so I can get the header on it. See what a good neighbor I am? I'm leasing equipment to harvest my neighbor's field. Alright, there's a lot of traffic here, so let's be careful down the road. Alright, so I'm going to haul this down to the wheat field, and assuming everything goes right, I'll meet you guys down there. I think maybe I'd made a poor choice in roads to take. I was just driving through this forest, and, you know, it was really pretty when I was driving our tractor through here, but driving this, yeah, I'm starting to rethink my decision now, especially as I went around a turn just there. And it just occurred to me, if this falls off the header trailer, how will I ever get it back on? Wish me luck on my journey to the field, but hey, once we get the equipment down there and get the job done, we can leave his equipment there. So, all right, here we are with the header trailer, and yeah, it's right next to our, you know, I think it'd be easiest if we accessed it from our property, unless that creek, does that creek pose a problem? Or is that a creek, or is it just kind of swampy there, kind of marshy? I think, yeah, we can access from our property, I think, just fine. Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, no problem. Well, that's some good news right there. We can just park this stuff on our land, and I'll get the harvester, get out here and get to work. And I just had a thought as I'm on my way over there with the harvester. Really good thought. We're going to have leftover grain off of this, because this is a contract for a neighbor. They're not going to expect us to get the entire thing done. So we're going to have leftover wheat, which can add to our, add to our stockpile, which, of course, we don't have a place to store it just yet. My uncle's going to let us use his silo to store the wheat, of course, because he's going to be making a profit off it too. Yeah, he's going to take a cut off of it. It's land that he gave to us to farm, but of course he's going to want a cut from that wheat that we sell. Well, anyway, because he's letting us use the silo for our wheat, same with this, right? So instead of going back to the store for more equipment, so that's all good. Instead of going back to the store for more equipment to get the trailer, I'm going to take there is a truck and trailer over at the Farm Collective. I'll just use their truck and trailer at the Farm Collective. They won't care because it's going into their silos and they're taking a cut off the wheat profit. So that means lots of good things. One is no trip back to the store. I'll just run down there, down to Baldeykino, and get their truck and trailer, which I think is bigger than that trailer anyway. So this is going to work out pretty well for us. Am I holding up traffic? Sounds like it. Yeah, I'm holding up traffic a little bit. That cop stopped back there. He's like, what is that fool doing in the harvester? Well, I'm trying to get out there. I'll take the first right turn that I can that leads us north. After root crop storage up here, I can hang a right and cut through the fields. Well, between the fields, you know. Try to get off the main road here. So that's the last of the trips that we need to make to the store. Once I get a full grain tank on this, I'm going to run down to the collective farm and borrow their truck. You know, it's going in their silos. They won't care. They won't mind if we borrow the truck. So let's see how fast this is going to go. How big did it say this field was? I forget. Pretty big. I think it's... Okay, so it's a little smaller than Uncle Peter's sugar beet field down there. Well, let's get started on this. Oops. There we go. Let's get started on this. Get a full grain tank. And then I'll run down and get us a truck and trailer. Maybe someday we'll be able to afford a harvester like this. Fancy Kloss. Sure is nice. Yeah, it's really nice driving this thing. Let's see, what's going to be the best way to take this field? Is it taller? The field is kind of squarish. So, I'm not sure what the best... Well, let's at least get the get this bit first here. And by the time I work my way down, yeah, once I work my way back down south, I might have a full grain tank, and we'll be on the appropriate end of the field to bring the truck over. Yeah, the grain tank's filling up pretty quick, which I figured it would, being wheat. I'm trying to judge, like how fast it's filling up as to how big the field is. So I get a feel for how many runs up and down the field we can make. And I'm trying to get, well, kind of a feel for the land around us, our neighbors and stuff like that. Who owns this field? Like, is this, okay, that's someone else's field. She owns a few fields around here, Maria Petrovna. She owns a few fields down around this area, because I've seen that name before. So thus, I guess some of the big names we're going to see around here are the people who own the fields. I was wondering if it belonged to Uncle Peter. It doesn't. I know he owns a field somewhere else. Oh yeah, but well, that small one that the contract was on, but I know there's another one somewhere else. There's got to be more big ones if he has all that equipment that I've seen down at the Farming Collective. Oh, this is handy. So we're going to be unloading right on this road here. By the time this grain tank fills up, we'll be, right here on this road. So we can just bring the grain truck right up here. And then after this is done, well, in the next video, we will be planting wheat on our field. So, I was just thinking about what's coming up. I'm going to finish this. Well, first we got some things to do. After I finish this is what I was going to say. I'm going to... Oh, that's right. Our field is plowed. I need to get rocks off of it. Yeah, got a bit of work to do. For now, though, we're still here for the moment, and I'm going to unload some of this and take it over to... Yeah, get a feel for where my uncle's silo is, because I haven't been down there yet. I drove past it, but I haven't really properly been to it yet. But I know that's where we'll be keeping our grain. All right, so that's about as much wheat as we can hold in this guy. All right, so we'll be using this truck here to get our grain, and this trailer should hold more than the one we rented anyway. I talked to them, and it's fine if we borrow this, since it's going into their silos anyway. I wonder if there's another way to get up there other than that really muddy road that we took. Yeah, let's not turn there, because that right there is what took us through all that mud in the creek. Let's try going up this way. Let's see what sights there are to see up through here. It's beautiful countryside after all. I kind of learned to feel my way around through these towns. I wonder what all that is. I think that might be a cow farm. I'm not 100%. I think that's a cow farm. Oh, which way do we turn? Let's go... Oh, this is our field. Or the field we're working on. How about that? It takes us right here. Perfect. And I can take that road back down... the silos. Yeah, that'd be the quickest way, I think, to get to the silos. Let's take a load of grain so I can show you where we're going and the silos that we'll be using until we get our own, that is, of course. We'll have our own silos. We'll have our own everything eventually. But for now, I got a good job ahead of me doing this. This is going to make us, well, after the rental, around $15,000, I think. So yeah, the truck won't be full, but I'm going to run it down there, scout out where the silo is, show you guys and everything, and that's so we know where we'll be going. It's nice to see different parts of this map so that throughout the video series, of course, I will be cutting out travel time, but I'd like to show you guys where stuff is and things like that, you know, the first time around, so you know kind of where we're going, so that in future trips I can cut those things out and save you guys time. But just know that I'm driving everywhere very slowly in these very slow domestic vehicles. Well, some of them are. Some are pretty slow. Some of my tractors are. Can I make this turn? Yes, just barely. Come on, little guy. All right. So how do we want to go? See, I always have problems trying to reverse my direction. You know, like I can know how to get to a place, but then when I turn around and go backwards, it's never as easy as just flipping the directions backward in my head. I tend to get lost easy. Now that's me. All right, we came up this road past the cow farm. I'll just remember that. Yeah, that mud could be a real bother once it gets wet. We'll have to make sure that we are, know the roads ahead of time so I know which roads to take and which ones to avoid. All right, the water tower is our beacon to the collective farm, and we'll turn left on the main highway, and that'll take us down to where the silos are. Now here, I think we can go either way, but I think we came this way. But I think both of these fork off and come together up here. But yeah, just follow the water tower. And this up here, this is the town of Baldeykino proper up here. Alright, so here we have, yep, this is the bus stop. Here we have the town itself. Anyone coming? I don't think so. Hard to see with all the trees. And the silos should be not too far up on our right when we leave town. Yeah, that's it up there. Yeah, the big silo. Yeah, the big silo-looking building. That's it up there. All right, so here we are here. Now this is, yeah, so here's the silo. Over behind me over there, that's the root crop storage. We drive past some of this on the way to the farms. That's kind of where we're at. We're west of the town of Baldeykino. And these are the silos that my uncle owns. Now, I'm not sure how this, but we'll see how it works. Let's drive up here. Oh, and look at that. I just saw something. Let me hop out of the truck real quick. How about that? We need money. We definitely need money. No doubt about that. Where's it unloading from? Oh, the back? Okay. All right. Excellent. So that's where our wheat is going. So I'm going to get back up to field 7 and finish that wheat contract and get all of the rocks off of our field so that we can plant wheat next episode. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching and following along. Don't forget there's a link to the playlist down in the description below. Should be one in the comments. And if you're watching the video and you like what you're seeing, hit that like button and comment below with any input is appreciated in the series. We'll be back next time with planting wheat on our fields and whatever other jobs or anything we may find. There's a lot of work to do building up our farm here in Siberia. So let me know what you think, how we're doing, and I'll see you guys next time. Guys, thanks so much for watching.